What's the most terrifying thing that happened to you at work? A customer at the camping store where I worked became obsessed with me, sabotaged my car, and tried to break in with a crowbar, all because I could make soap and had birth-in hips. I worked at a camping resort store in rural Western Virginia during summer months. It was an easy job serving out-of-town tourists, which was nice since our small mountain community could get pretty isolated. One day, this massive mountain man came in, 6 feet 5 inches, 280 pounds, dirty clothes, long beard. He looked like a hermit type we sometimes got. He bought basic supplies, including homemade soap. At the register, he stared at me for a full minute before asking, "Did you make this soap?" "I help with that sometimes," I said. "You make a lot of your own stuff? Toiletries and things, yeah, I like that." He nodded. "You cook too?" "Sometimes." "Bet the boys around here are itching to marry you," he said, smiling to himself. I told my boss Krista about the weird encounter. She laughed it off. But Mountain Man started coming in regularly, always seeking me out specifically. He'd make comments about how nice it would be to have a woman like me around to cook his hunting kills. Once he even said I had birth-in hips that men lust after. He kept inviting me to fish, hunt, see his cabin. I always declined, but he got more insistent. The intensity scared me, so Krista said she'd ring him up instead. Thanks to her, I avoided him for weeks and thought the problem was over. Then one night, I was closing alone around 10 p.m. Only 2 cars were left in the parking lot, mine and an old blue pickup truck I knew was his. I didn't see him anywhere, so I quickly got in my car and checked the back seat. But when I turned the key, nothing but sputters. I tried several times, getting scared. Just as I reached for my phone, loud pounding on my window. Mountain Man was grinning, showing missing teeth. "Need some help?" he said loudly. I shook my head. "My dad is on his way." He laughed. "No, he's not. Open the door." How did he know I was bluffing? "Number, leave me alone." He looked angry and started pulling the handle, then pounding the window. "Leave or I'm calling the cops," I screamed. I called 911. The dispatcher could hear him pounding and said officers were coming, but out here, that could be a while. "The cops are coming! Leave now!" I screamed. After a few more minutes, he stopped and walked to his truck. I watched, hoping he'd leave, but he came back with a crowbar. "No! Get away!" I screamed as he started swinging at my window. I ducked to the passenger floor and covered my neck like tornado drills. I heard the window crack, then suddenly male voices shouting at him to get away. I looked up and saw 2 campers, one with a shotgun pointed at Mountain Man. They held him until police arrived. I was shaken for weeks afterward. Later, I learned he had a long mental illness history and had been living in that remote cabin off his medications. Police searched it and found his disturbing journal. He'd written about being lonely and wanting a wife. He mentioned me by name repeatedly with detailed plans to abduct me, starting with sabotaging my car engine to make me vulnerable. When the officer told me that, I nearly burst into tears thinking how horribly that night could have gone without those campers. He's back in a state institution now, hopefully for good.